One second. Thank you for your patience. We finna kick this off the right way. I got something special. My guy, Candyman. This is a wrap for him. Next month I got something big coming with my Saw reviews. Sawsome month, Sawtober, whatever you want to call it. I got something special. But for now, I got to kick the tire on my guy. I did an in-depth analysis. Go check it out. That was part one I did on Candyman. This is a simple ranking. This ain't finna take a long time. There's only 4 movies in this franchise, and the order should be pretty much clear to a fanatic diehard fan, which I am. And let's get to it. We ain't finna take a long time and do all this extra talking and woo woo. Let's get to it. Number 4 on this list, we got Day of the Dead, Candyman Part 3. I mean, to me, I should say, my bad. To me, to be honest, this movie is it's not a bad movie. I did a recent countdown on Friday the 13th where a lot of the movies I wasn't really fond of, besides 4 or 5 of them out of the 12. With this would have been in the middle of the pack if it was part of that franchise. That's how much I really like this particular franchise, even though it's 4 movies in. The new one just came out a month or 2 ago. That might add a 5th movie to the franchise. But back to Dawn of the Dead. I'm not gonna get into a bunch of synopsises or characters or the cast under that because I'm gonna do it maybe for the number 1 spot on this list, but for this the cast is irrelevant because it's nobody who really matter, not even the main character. This is actually Caroline. That's Annie's daughter from the second movie. So I like that aspect of the movie where it got lineage to the previous movies. That matters to me. I like franchises that kind of pick up where the other one left off. That's the one thing Friday the 13th do. The timeline years off, but they pick up the movie right where the previous movie ended. I love that about that franchise. But this sort of does that from 2 to 3. Caroline, to me, is basically, if I did a top 10 worst final girls of all time, she would be ranked number 1 because she was one of them, you know what I'm saying, Baywatch chicks that they cast just for blonde beauty. This bitch wear a beater like I'm wearing right now the entire movie with her fake big ass silicone breasts, hard ass nipples the whole fucking movie. And she wearing these tight ass shirts, nipples hard. It's like, fam, is this a soft porn? Y'all trying to get a nigga dick hard or y'all trying to scare us? I did not like her. I really felt like she should do a Virginia Madsen and die at the end. But that didn't happen because she's Caroline's daughter and she the final girl. Tony Todd is the man, but in this, he never seemed like lackadaisical or like he didn't give a fuck. He put his effort into it, but not his all. Like you could see, he read the script like, damn, I said this 2 movies ago. I'm still saying these dialogue. I didn't really like his hair slicked back. I liked the mini baby afro he had in part 1. You know what I'm talking about if you know the movie. You know what I'm saying? It's like when your hair grow back like mine. If I was to comb it back, it'd be a baby fro. That's what he had. And I like that. This, he got like slick back, like, I don't know, relaxer, or I guess it's supposed to be honey, a reference. I don't know. I don't get it. I didn't like it. But Tony Todd ain't the problem with the movie. The problem is the cast. They got people who I'm not going to mention, people I don't care about. The CGI bees fucked it up for me because, from one, he got stung 23 times by them bees. That was a sting. So he got 23,000 in total from bee stings. Real acting. Him and Virginia had to go through bee stings. This was like, fuck all that. We finna CG the bees. Woo, woo, woo. Maybe that was Tony Todd's suggestion. Like, I don't want to go through that again. I don't know who choice it was, but it didn't look authentic to me. His first scene was like the first opening act of the movie. Like, I'll get to that in another later point, but to show Candyman, we know who he is 3 movies in, but his reveal, his first entry is supposed to be something special. This wasn't. Moving on. That was too much time for the last place movie. Moving on. We got the new Candyman. I spoiled this in a previous countdown I did where I said it's a controversial statement. Because I think most motherfuckers would think this is the second best movie next to the first movie that was presented. But for me, it didn't do it. The main reason why I didn't do it is Candyman, for me personally, always been scary. I told y'all this was the scariest horror movie I ever seen. I seen part one, the original, in '92. It scared me in daytime around people. I had a nightmare about this movie for about a month. That was the scariest movie I ever seen. Sometime I think like, what if I walked down the stairs, turned the light on, and Tony Todd Candyman was there? It's just a little thought that it never happened. It's a movie, it's fictional, but that's what he did to me, and I'm 37 years old. You know what I'm saying? So imagine me at 8, how I felt if I still think of that subliminally sometime now. Everybody did the Bloody Mary or the Candyman 5 times in the mirror shit, nothing happened. So we know it's fictional. It's not real life. But I'm just saying he was scary as fuck to me. But in this, it wasn't scary. I love the Virginia Madsen reference. I love the Vanessa Estelle as Anne Marie McCoy comes back. Fine as hell. She looked better in 2021 than she looked in 92. Google Vanessa Estelle and see how she looked from Candyman the original to how she look in this as Anthony's mom. That's Yahya Mateen. Y'all might know him from Black Mantis and Aquaman. He played Dr. Manhattan in the HBO Watchmen. He a hell of an actor. I like him. He's Anthony, the baby from the original one. This is basically not a remake, but like a continuous story from the first one. It ignores 2 and 3. But it got Tiana Paris as Brianna. That's his girlfriend / business partner. He like an art painter type of guy. You know, so he go to Cabrini to find out information about the Candyman. And then they got Strand from the Fear the Walking Dead franchise. He becoming a great villain, getting a nice little role in this. He get the exposition, narrating the story about. And the thing about Candyman, a lot of these movies got different origins because I know Day of the Dead is LA. Part 2 is New Orleans. Part 1 in this one is Chicago. That's because the mythos they explain is like Bloody Mary or any myth. Every city, every town, every state got their own rendition of the Candyman. But the Candyman in this movie is not actually Tony Todd. It's a guy who was like a creepy motherfucker giving kids candy with razor blades in them. And he also maybe had his hand cut off or war, whatever happened. He had a hook for a hand, like them prosthetics they be giving motherfuckers, little chicken wing. But the movie, like I said, besides the first one, it looks great. The visuals great. The cinematography great. Black cast, I love it. Everything about the movie is great except for the aspect of the Candyman. We know Tony Todd older. He didn't have to be in the movie. But the fact that all the kills are visual masterpieces without the antagonist. Like normally it'd be Candyman making these kills. But everything is like imaginary. Like it's like we see the kill, but the killer's not there. I can't think of the word I'm thinking, but it's like invisible. Like the trailer scene of the 5 girls in the bathroom. Candyman. It's not like Tony Todd show up, slash them. It's like a faceless killer. It's not even a body until the very end where he metamorph into the Candyman and all of that. But the movie, like I said, is good. It looked great. It's just not scary. Moving on. Number 2. We got Kelly Rowland as Annie Torrent. We got Ethan Torrent. We got Michael Cloran as Philip Percy. He was also in the first one. He's basically the Candyman lore guy, where he wrote a book about him. He wrote essays about him. He know the mythos. He know the legend of Daniel Robitaille as the Candyman. He liked the exposition for 1 and 2. He great. I love him. Candyman finally get his kill with him. Then they got Veronica Cartwright as Octavia Torrent. This movie good as a motherfucker to me because it don't ignore the first one, but it don't really acknowledge it either. They set in New Orleans where this family was connected to Daniel Robitaille, because y'all know the story. Daniel Robitaille impregnated Caroline, and so that mean a lineage had mixed or whites throughout the generation. And this particular family, Farewell to Flesh, actually was connected to Candyman. He killed their father because he called upon him, and the brother Ethan been basically doing research on the Candyman and find out how his pops died, woo woo. A lot of people don't like this movie because Candyman do kind of say the same things he said from part 1, a lot of the same tropes, but I was still young not real young, but I think I was probably like 14 when this one came out. I wasn't that old, so I was still old enough and bad enough not to be scared of the first one, but it was good as a motherfucker because the first one was so scary and I was so young, I couldn't in depth analyze it like from a 8-year-old mind to a 14-year-old mind. So watching it, I like to see the backstory of how he got killed and they chased him and put the honey on him. All that shit stuck to me. That ending. The look, Annie was a school teacher. You know what I'm saying? The kids who she taught, they wasn't generic. They had personality. I liked them. They only in the movie for, you know what I'm saying, 10, 15 minutes total, but I even liked the kids. You know what I'm saying? All of his kills and victims, it wasn't like in-depth analysis to them where you knew a lot about them, but it was like you cared about the characters, even the ones who, like when she went to find information out from this one cat who knew her father and knew Candyman mythos, when he got killed, he was like, damn, that's fucked up. He was a cool dude. Even though he was on screen 4 or 5 minutes. That's what I like about the movie. It's creepy, but it's kind of a little too exposition-y with the Mardi Gras shit. They got like this radio, like DJ talking throughout the movie. It's some goofy shit. They show like a couple on a balcony fucking. We didn't need all that. I ain't care at all. But sometimes you try to watch a movie with your kids, you realize, damn, man. Little shit like that'll bother you. Not overall like if like you and your wife or you and grown-ups, but it's just throw up scenes we don't need. Just certain scenes we didn't need. But the kill of the movie is when he hook her husband, pick him up, and go up his whole cage. That's the kill he talking about. I'll rip you from your gullet to your growing to your gullet. That was the example of it in the flesh. I like the fuck out this movie. I ain't gonna lie. I kind of think in my mind, canon is my favorite, but it's just not the best. And it's not the best because number one is the best and scariest. The original Candyman. Tony T, y'all know Tony Todd. Virginia Madsen, she's a fucking underrated scream queen. Like, it's like she don't get her just due. She is a bad bitch and hell of an actor. She fucking, this movie wouldn't been shit with anybody besides her. You know what I'm saying? Like I said already, Vanessa Estelle as Anne Marie, she got a minor role in this. You know what I'm saying? Her and Anthony, she ain't really big in either one of them, but she is staple to the franchise. This movie, I ain't gotta go hard. I said my in-depth analysis. I said my top 10 horror countdown where I talked about how scary it is. I mentioned that earlier in this particular video, how I felt about how scary this movie is. Number one, it's always gonna be the scariest movie I've ever seen in my life. Because at this point in my life, it's not nothing gonna scare me but this shit in real life. Like all that Scream shit come to life. Like we know you. Like Jigsaw see me and say I'm gonna play a game on you. I'm gonna make, since you ain't scared, I'm gonna make your life a horror movie. Like that's the only way I'll be scared. Like it gotta really happen to me because no movie can scare me no more. Like damn, this movie did. Like Tony Todd when he did this movie. Hatchet, all that shit came after. You know what I'm saying? He in the Final Destination franchise. All that shit came after. He probably got work before this that I don't know about. I should have researched to find it out. But what I do know is Tony Todd is a fucking legend. I don't even think he get his just due like a Robert Englund or Kane Hodder or the voice of Chuck Lee, Daniel what's his name? Daniel Mancini. You know what I'm saying? All them people get way more accolades than Tony Todd, but he was the fucking guy for me. And that's why he will always be a horror icon. Number one, 4 movies of Candyman. Candyman is also a second countdown in a row where the number 1 movie was the first. And I'm out. ZZ the King. Stay tuned. October, my month over. This September, my month. My 37th birthday, September 5th. ZZ Day. This month over. October, I ain't bullshitting. I'm coming hard. All kind of material. Because I love Halloween. I love horror. I'm finna go crazy. I'm out, though.